Stefanus Blonde.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. I've got one from Belgium here today, but before I get on with that, bit of a sad night tonight. Percy's had to go to the vet. He's eating something and he's got a blockage and he's throwing up everywhere and he's not a well dog, bless him. So it's already cost us 300 quid to get him x-rayed. They can't find anything, but they're almost certain there's a blockage here, so I've got to go back tomorrow. It's yeah, it's a bit worrying when you got pets, and you know, obviously pets can't talk when they're ill. So yeah, bit of a downer tonight, but fuck it, I've got a beer. The answer and the cause of everyone's problems, as Homer Simpson once said. I've got this stuff, St. Stephanus.
This is Stefan. His name is Stefan. Harden the fuck up, Stefan.
And, I bought this from, what was it? Key Wines. I think it's an off license in Oxford. I think I got it from. Quite good service from them. They're online. Look them up. I think it's called Key Wines. It's Key something. Can't remember the name. KEE. And I bought this from there. I think it was $3.50 or something like that. Looked pretty good. Then I got it home and I had a look at it. Anno 1295. That's when they reckon it all started. Now, that could well be the case. I cannot find any information about this place at all. All I can find is that it's got an agreement with Asahi to distribute the stuff. And in, I think it was 2017 or a bit earlier, SAB Miller were distributing this stuff. And that rang alarm bells. And then just before this video was done or recorded, as I am here doing it, I looked at the ingredients and it's got fucking rice in it. Rice in a Belgian blonde ale. That is not fucking on. That for me is a massive alarm bell, and it sort of explains why I can't find anything about the... There is a St. Stephanus Abbey that's in Ghent, but the earliest record of that was, I think, the late 1600s, and it burnt down and they rebuilt it in the 1800s or whatever. This is like another Leffer, and it's one of my bugbears with some Belgian beer. They give it a big one about being an Abbey beer. Some sites, Amazon have got this classed as a fucking lager, Belgian lager. Other sites have got it as down as an Abbey beer, and I don't think it's either, to be honest. I think it's some concoction that's been concocted somewhere, and they call it a blonde, and it's 7%. I mean, when you're doing that sort of ABV, you're looking at sort of triple territory rather than blondes. It's a bit of a weird one. They've marketed this beer as being matured by the landlord, if you like, to experiment. So they're actually promoting the idea of not drinking it immediately and letting it mature. Now, I don't really get that. That's the sort of thing they used to do over here in the 1700s. It basically meant that the maturing process was out of their hands. It's like it comes across like they're not sure, or they haven't got the capacity to store the beer, to let it mature and punt it out as and when it's ready. So it seems a bit of a strange concept to me. Now, of course, all bottle conditioned beers can do this. You can leave bottle conditioned beer for a good while and it will taste different from the time you buy it, even sort of 6 months later if you let it mature in the bottle. because there's live yeast in there, it will taste different. But to just say, "Oh, you sort it out," seems a bit of a cop out to me, anyway. So you know, there's just a lot that doesn't sit right with me with this beer to start off with. I could be wrong though; it could be nice, but Bière de Abbey Belge, Belgisch Abbey beer. Well, I can't fucking find anything about this Abbey at all. If it's the one in Ghent they're talking about, I don't know where they're getting £12.95 from. Maybe that was the price of the beer back then. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get on to the beer. Right, it's 7%. It's a 330ml bottle. It should be drunk out of a chalice, according to this, which I've got here. The ingredients, though, they're fucking big alarm bells here. Barley malt, rice, sugar, yeast and hops. Why have they put rice in it? There is no fucking need for any Western European countries to put rice in their beer. I sort of understand it with, you know, countries in the Far East. Malt isn't as abundant as it is here. There's no fucking excuse to do that. The only reason they're doing that is to rip you and me off, the punters. So I make no bones about it. I've got a bit of a downer on this beer already. Rice and adjuncts like that are guaranteed to put me in a bad mood about this. Anyway, enough about that. I could be completely wrong. This could taste absolutely amazing. Let's find out. Right, here is the cap. Now, for an Abbey beer, I do not fucking get that at all. That is a heart with an arrow through it. It looks like a moody old tattoo. What the fuck is all that about? Saint Steffanus. I should have looked him up, what he was the patron saint of. It might explain that, but I don't know. I lost interest when I saw rice on this. So there you go. There you go, Lois. Right. It's certainly lively, I will give it that. It looks the part. Very weak aromas. Sweet banana, that's all I'm getting. Maybe let's pour a little bit more out, see what's in there. Now this is definitely bottle conditioned. Well, I'm saying it's definitely, they say it's bottle conditioned. And they reckon it's stored for at least 3 months before it goes on sale. It's like a slightly sour ester and sweet banana. If you can imagine that, not a lot else. Very weak on the aroma front. I'm struggling to get anything out of that at all. It does look the part, I will say that though. Nice, murky, sort of, almost like a German wheat beer. 1.5 finger, foamy white head. Looks reasonable, but aroma's vague. It's just, as I say, there's a sour ester and a little bit of sweet banana, but they're very hard to discern. But let's, as I always say, let's try it. The proof is in the tasting. Wish me luck. Not much flavour there at all. No, that's a lie. There's not much finish on it. That's what I meant. There was a slightly plasticky taste and then it just died completely. Let me dive in again. Very weak aromas on that. Not impressed. There's There's some sugar sweetness, I'm getting that. Again, not much, but it's there. Little touch of banana. Not much, but it's there. And not much at all, to be honest. And it's more or less what I was expecting. Now, for me, Leffe is the ultimate mass-produced Belgian beer. But even that has more flavour than this stuff. When I see stuff like this, I think some people will drink that and think they're drinking a genuine Belgian Abbey beer. If you don't know what to look for. And to be honest, this tastes nothing like a Belgian Abbey beer. That's what they've got it down on as on some websites. Do you know what it's reminding me of? It reminded me of Erdinger. Now, Erdinger is one of them beers that is aping the style of a very, very flavoursome beer, but it's just not delivering any of them flavours. This is very similar, but doing it with Belgian triples. Now, for me, if you want a decent Belgian triple, you should be looking at La Trappe, Chimay, Westmalle, breweries like that. Now, I know they're all Abbey, genuine Trappist Abbey breweries, but there's other good triples out there as well. Castile do a reasonably good, or Van Honsenbroek do a reasonably good triple, and there's a few others out there as well. Korsendonk do a reasonably good triple, and there's a few others that I need to get the old grey matter working. Even Leffe, you know, Leffe Blonde has more, and they've called this a blonde as well, which at 7%, that's a bit, again, a bit misleading for me. 7%, you're looking at sort of triple territory. But even if it is a blonde, there is much better blondes out there. It really is. This just lacks flavour. This is the Erdinger of the Belgians. It just, there's no big candy sugar, no big spirit alcohol, no big banana and clove. It's just all wishy-washy. Actually very reminiscent of Erdinger as well. Looks the part, but just does not deliver on flavour. And they put rice in it as well. Nah, this is a fucking paper tiger. Not impressed with this at all. So what's the verdict on Saint Steffanus? Well, there's a lot of alarm bells ringing in this. The fact I cannot find much at all about this lot. The St Stephanus Abbey certainly doesn't go back to 1295. Not the one in Ghent. If there's another one, I couldn't find it. They put rice in a fucking Belgian triple. That to me just shows contempt for the people who are going to be buying this. Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? That's just the hallmark of either a fucking macro brewer or someone that just doesn't give a fuck and is cutting corners. I'm not impressed with this at all. I'm going to give that, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10, and I'm not going to recommend it. I'm really going to research any more beers I buy from this lot, because there's just certain tactics, you know, the phony Abbey beer style that they're promoting, the non-existent Abbey they're talking about, the fact this is a blonde, or labelled as a blonde, and it's more, well, the ABV certainly for me is more reminiscent of a triple, or going on to a triple. But the biggest alarm bell is the rice in it. Fuck off. If this was a macro brewed lager, I'd say, yeah, well, you know, you're fucking taking the piss anyway, so you might as well throw anything in there. But a Belgian fucking, a supposedly Belgian brewer putting rice in, nah. There's no tradition of rice in Belgian beer. and long may that continue. What did I say? 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10? I don't know. Fucking 2 out of 10 I'm going to give it, and I'm being generous. Yeah, I'm not going to recommend it. There's fucking far better out there than that. And remember, I'm drinking that shit, so you don't have to.